This from ABCnews.com. Michael Bergen, shot to fame as an underwear model for Calvin Klein. But thanks to a new book, he's about to become better known as the other man in the John F. Kennedy Jr. Carolyn Bessette marriage. Carolyn Bessette, of course, indeed, was the wife of JFK Jr., who was in that plane that day. Apparently, a number of reports said that she was running late, and so they ran out of daylight. It was kind of foggy, a little drizzly, and he had to fly in bad weather with instruments only. That bitch was late, and we all know what happened. Blub, blub, blub. Yeah, baby. For years, it says here, the tabloids have speculated about Bergen's relationship with Bessette, of the rivalry between Bergen and Kennedy. Now, in a new book, The Other Man, A Love Story. Bergen claims that his love affair with Bessette continued even after her September 22nd, 1996 marriage to JFK Jr. When asked today in his first network interview with Good Morning America if he had an affair with Carolyn Bessette after she was married to Kennedy, Bergen said, "I did," adding, "It was wrong. It was wrong on my part and on her part." Bergen said he planned to take the secret affair to his grave, but was urged to write his tell-all book by the publishing last year of another book, The Kennedy Curse, by Edward Klein, who had interviewed Bergen about Bessette. Bergen said that Klein's book just caused this whirlwind of stories saying that she's just a horrible monster, that she was a coke addict, she's this, she's that, and I knew her very well, and she's not any of that. He said the whole book was all lies. I had to do something. Goes on to say that he and Bessette have been in a relationship since 1992, 4 years before the young Calvin Klein employee wed Kennedy. Bergen said that Bessette reached out to him after less than a year of being married when she believed her husband was cheating on her. He added, however, that the recently wed Bessette had contacted him for friendship. At the time, Bergen was living in Los Angeles while Bessette and Kennedy were living in New York City. But it goes on to say that Bessette was not a coke addict. He rarely saw her do drugs. So she's not a coke addict. She just used coke, I guess. Yeah. But, yes. They were having an affair. There you go. And, yeah, it turned out that JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette were fighting all the time. There were pictures of them in the tabloids. Fighting. They were fighting. We never knew what they were fighting about, but you might have a pretty good idea here. They were fighting about. And it brings into question, you know, and by the way, I've been this guy, okay? One of the reasons I have a very hard time with marriage and trusting women is because as a man with money and celebrity, I have seen how many women are willing to turn their backs on their husbands, even the husbands they love so much, the boyfriends they love so much, the guys they live with, whatever, the guys they've been dating steadily. If they find a guy who they think is wealthier or more powerful, more famous, whatever, how many women are willing to turn their backs? I've seen this personally. I have sat in hotel rooms as women have said, I just need to call my boyfriend. I just need to call my husband. Being honest with you, I've watched this. In fact, as much as I was enjoying the benefit of it, I've watched this in horror sometimes because I have realized, having been married 4 times, you know, it's happened to me. I've gotten these calls. I got a call from somebody who's likely to sue me, so I won't say who it is, but somebody who told me she was in Mexico and the hotel didn't have telephones. Now, I realize that Mexico doesn't have the same per capita income as the United States, but having been to Mexico now many times, every hotel I've stayed in has had telephones. Some of them with data ports and fax machines. It's remarkable how modern they are. But I used to be told, oh, no, don't bother trying to call me back. There's no phones here at the hotel. And I realized how many times I'd gotten those BS phone calls when somebody else was with the person I was with. I realized that. And so as I was sitting with women who were doing this, who were calling the boyfriend, calling the fiancé, calling the husband, to let him know, oh, I'm okay, I'm going to bed. I'm going to go to bed early tonight, okay? So don't call me because I'm going to go to sleep early, and all the other various excuses. I realized that women are just as bad as men. I mean, the idea that women can be trusted and that men are a bunch of sluts, that might have been true 100 years ago, but it ain't true today. Women are just as likely to screw around, just as likely to be sluts. You're right, Dean. There was the time a few years ago, that was in Huntington Beach. Well, 5, 6 years ago. We had a chick come to one of our appearances. She was married 4 days. 4 days. But she said she always wanted to get with another chick. And even though she was married 4 days, we presented her with another chick, and she dived in with relish. Dived right in. So these two chicks going at it in the limo. It was unbelievable. This woman was just married. Where was her husband? We didn't know. She didn't even have a cell phone on her. Didn't call home or anything. It was, our show's on in L.A. It begins at 3 o'clock. It was during the day. So she had no excuses to make. Who knows? She might have been out at the mall, might have been at the supermarket. Who knows? And in reality, she was having her first experience with a girl in our limo. Who would ever believe it? That woman's out there somewhere. By the way, the report we got from the girl we provided her with, skankorama. Unbelievable. It was like someone left out a can of Bumblebee and forgot to toss it. It was bad. It was very, very bad. You ever leave like a can of tuna out on the porch or something? And maybe you left it for the cat, and the cat forgot to eat it all, so it just kind of sits there in the sun for a couple of days. It was like that. Wow. But it's amazing. I've been around the block enough times to see that women are so intoxicated by money, power, or fame that they will simply, or in some cases hot guys, but I mean, they will simply turn their back, and they, in their head, somehow they justify doing this stuff. And so many people don't believe that women do this stuff, but believe me, they do. And this story is just another example of it. And I'm going to prove it to you, because a lot of you boys think that you're with a little angel who would never do this to you. I don't know how many of you boys out there right now are the other man. And I want you to tell us about the guy she's with. I want you to tell us, have you ever seen her, get on the phone and make an excuse? Maybe you've seen the two of them together and you've seen her make up an excuse. I don't know. I'd like to see how she gets away with it, what excuses she makes, and do you feel good about being the other man? I'd really like to know.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Now, let's say you were making the same amount of money you're making now when you were back 25 years old.
Oh, are you kidding me? I'd have had more poon. I'd have been banging 4 chicks a day. I'd be dead.
The Tom Leykis Show.
This show, 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Are you the other man? Mark on the Tom Leykis Show.
What's going on, Tom?
Not much, Mark.
Well, there's this relationship's over now, unfortunately, but well, maybe it is fortunate. But I was the other man for a little while, and I tell you what, it's an ugly thing.
Now, is she married?
Married.
She's married. All right. And how did you meet this chick?
She was friends of my parents, actually, and she used to hang out with my parents all the time, and she's kind of a little freak. And one night, taking care of her kids, actually, and she came home early without the hubby. Ended up putting on some very nice underwear for me. It was good times. I mean, she was quite a freak.
Really?
But I tell you what, I did feel bad. This guy was a real nice guy, and, you know, I'd see him face to face all the time.
Well, you didn't feel that bad because you kept doing her.
Well,
I mean, you felt really bad, you'd stop.
that's also very true. I guess I just love the pootie.
Yeah, well, welcome to the club.
But I think she loved the D a little bit more than I could really even say. I mean, to be honest with you, she didn't stop with me. She did my brother as well, and this was
And you knew that at the time?
well, I found out later.
Found out later. Now, did you feel like an attachment here, or?
No, not at all. Really, I was just enjoying the situation.
You were just getting the freebies?
Right. I mean, I figured if she's giving it, somebody's going to take it, and, well, might as well be me.
And why did it end?
My parents ended up busting her kissing my brother.
Really?
So that kind of kept everything came to a little crash.
So what, did your parents call her husband or something?
Well, I mean, they were friends. No, not husband. They were just making out in the living room of my parents' home with actually the husband in the house.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this was a pretty bad situation, but she was a lot of fun.
And did you ever see her like talking to the husband, like making up excuses?
Well, now they are divorced because she was caught banging the concrete guy contractor on her house. Now, of course, she's married to him and still.
She's married to the concrete guy, and she's still fooling around.
Yeah, I'm quite sure. She's sort of a. Well,
she's insatiable.
Exactly, and he's kind of a redneck, so I really don't think that he can really give her what
Unbelievable.
she's looking for.
That's an amazing story, Mark. What can I say?
I mean, I tell you what, I mean, the women are every bit as bad as the men. Every bit.
Yeah. Yeah, women are just more concerned about covering it up. Guys brag.
Right.
And women are afraid of being perceived as sluts, even when they are.
Which is something I really don't have a problem with, to be honest with you.
Hey, when you meet a woman, you hope she's a slut.
Exactly. I'm trying to get laid. And
but when you're married to her, you hope she stops being a slut, and that's the problem.
Well, how do you rectify that situation, Tom?
Well, what ends up happening is men end up marrying women who are less than the hottest, and women end up marrying guys who are less than the richest.
So that's how we avoid getting cheated on?
And that's why we end up cheating, because we wish we were with somebody hotter or richer.
So you know, all right, say I am a prospective newlywed or whatever. What steps can I take to stop my wife from being this slut?
You better do her well, and do her often.
Well and often?
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta work sometimes, you know.
I understand that, but you know what? People get married, they forget to do this.
Yeah, I hear it.
Gotta do it.
All right, Tom, I'm gonna go ahead and take myself out with a bong hit.
All right, Mark, here you go.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM. Guy's got no lungs, as far as I can tell. Mark on the Tom Leykis Show. Another Mark here. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Mark.
Long time, second time.
Cool. Now you're the other man?
Yes, I am, sir.
Is she married?
Yes, she is.
All right. How did this start?
Well, in the business world, as people sometimes go to lunch, I got a vibe, and the next thing you know, she's at my place. This is her coming from long distance, no pun intended, from Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And she came in, and...
so she was from 3,000 miles away. She would live with her husband in Florida?
Right, had business to do here.
Right.
Flew out here. I've taught, and next thing you know, we're in my apartment, and next thing you know, we're probably going to be married by next year.
No.
Yes. I know it's against your rules, but I must.
Now, what did the husband say when he found out about this?
He still doesn't know.
Wait a minute. You got marriage plans, and he's still with her?
That's right.
Well, when do you plan to get married?
Next year, probably. It's been 10 years since I've been married. I've only been married one time. I'm a single dad.
How can you make these plans if she's still living with him?
There's financial reasons. We both make a lot of money. There's a lot of money tied up.
Of course, the longer you live with somebody married, the more you owe.
I understand. She makes more money than him.
Mm-hmm. So she'll be paying.
She'll be paying. Well, they make both money. They've got money combined, and so it's pretty ugly. I don't want to bore you with all that, but I do love her, and I'm probably going to spend the rest of my life with her. I've been married one time, and don't want to do it a third time.
And why do you need to be married to her?
I'm 40. I've got 2 kids. She's been out here quite a few times. It's been going on for about 3 years.
Your kids know about this?
Yeah, they do.
What do they think about it?
They want what I want.
What, they want to have sex with other married people?
No, I waited for about 7 or 8 years before I had sex with any woman. I had my heart broken. Didn't really date too much. Good-looking guy, make a lot of money. Out in the business world, don't have a lot of time for dating and all that. So, you know, maybe it's the first girl that, you know, was attracted to me and I could trust. I grabbed a hold of. Call it what you will, but we get along real well, and he's the only guy she's ever been with, by the way.
Really?
Really.
Wow.
25 years married.
Well, not anymore.
I know, and yeah, I do.
You do what? I'm sorry, you cut out there. You do what?
I'm sorry, I got a call waiting to you, and I won't put you out. I beg your pardon. I do feel bad. I do feel bad because I remember I was burned as well, and
is this like in your head? This is like revenge for being cheated on?
No, not in any way. If you knew me, I'm not a vengeful person in any way.
You're taking another guy's wife here.
I know. I feel it. You know, it's the only.
And they still live together, and he doesn't have any idea.
No, he doesn't. And you know, I'm being honest. It's honesty here. And you asked if I felt bad, and I'm telling you I do.
And do you hear her on the phone with him and stuff?
No, I'm not like that. You know, it's nothing I can stop at this point. I don't want to stop it. You know, I want to spend the rest of my life with her. I'm not going to cheat on her. I'm not out to go get food. I did in the day. Back in the day, I was quite a grabber.
Yeah, but not anymore, baby.
It's the Tom Leykis Show. This is the Tom Leykis Show.
From Los Angeles to 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. Okay, are you the other man? The other man. Is that you? Dave on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Dave.
I am the other guy.
You are. Do tell. How'd this start?
All right. So I met her. She's a waitress, right? I go in there a couple times. She's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Let's hook up. I'm like, all right, fine. You know, whatever. Winded up being cool for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then she winded up getting attached. Oh, I'm leaving my husband for you, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, don't leave your husband, because I'm going to drop you like a rock.
Oh,
leave your
my God.
Last night she comes over, drunk, just drunk off her ace. And I'm like, what are you doing here? She's like, oh, I love you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I don't love you. What are you doing here? I'm trying to sleep. I'm like, oh, well, and then walks out the door thinking she's going to walk home at 5 in the morning. It was a bunch of drama.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
By the way, we should point out.
What's that?
You're 21, she's 21.
Exactly. She got married at 18.
There we go.
Out of high school.
Western Washington calling.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The single mom capital of the world. Luckily, she's not a single mom. I've learned my lesson there.
Oh, boy. Does that mean you had one with someone else?
What's that?
Does that mean you had one with someone else?
Oh, yeah. There's been so many married chicks I've did, and it's just so crazy.
Oh, did you knock any up?
No, hell no.
Okay, just
Hell
checking.
no.
You said you learned your lesson. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah, as far as, you know, going out with a single mom or porking a single mom. All the little rugrats running around all the time. Will you watch my kid? No, I'm porking you. I'm not your husband. Have him watch him.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And by the way, did you ever see your friend there calling her husband or talking to him or anything?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Really? What is that like? What does she say to him?
Oh, I'm shopping right now. Meanwhile, we're laying in bed naked.
Oh, boy.
2 minutes before that, she was, having fun.
Wow.
Long night.
And he, of course, probably 22, believes everything she says.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And he's a nice guy, man. I really feel bad, but
You don't feel that bad.
Oh, hell no. I hope they do get a divorce.
I love how guys always say, oh, yeah, I feel really bad for the guy. No, you don't. If you felt bad for the guy, you'd stop doing her.
Yeah, well, there's one thing between feeling bad and, like...
Here's what you feel bad about. And you know what? I'm going to tell you because it's from experience. I've done this. Here's what you feel bad about. You picture yourself being in the same position.
Oh, hell no. I ain't having no relationship till I'm at least 30.
Well, that's good. But you never know. One day when you finally do, she'll be talking to you from under the covers. I'm at the store, honey. I'm at the mall.
Keep them as booty calls.
There you
as
go.
long as you possibly can.
Uh-huh. Well, Dave, thank you.
Hey, thank you, Tom.
Appreciate the call. It's Tim on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I'm the other guy, Tom.
You're the other guy.
I don't feel bad at all. I think it's great. And it's opened my eyes to, just like how you said, the only reason I feel bad is because it just makes you realize not to trust women because you don't know when they're going to be lying about what they're doing.
Yeah. You would never believe that women aren't sluts once you've been in this position.
No. It's totally true.
Mm-hmm.
So
how did you meet this chick?
Well, I used to work with her, never messed with her when I worked with her, knew that she had a boyfriend, and then I left my job and she had my number and asked me to go to an Angel game with her. This was last year, so I went.
Honey, I have to go with him. He's my friend.
No, she even said...
He's my friend who wants to go to the baseball game. He's my friend.
That's exactly what she said. She said, you know that you don't like baseball, and he does, so I'm going to take him. So we go, and after the game, we go back to my apartment, and she calls and tells him that we went over to her friend's house, and we're, watching TV. So, he calls back. He must have been suspicious somehow, because he called back in the middle... while we're doing the deed, while we're doing it. And she answers the phone and, tells him, well, don't call me anymore. I'll call you when I get home. We're watching a movie. I don't want to miss it. And that was the first time, and it continued after that. She would, answer the phone and say, oh, I'm shopping with this girl. I'm over at my friend's house doing this. And, he believed
She probably gets off on making these calls in front of you.
No, yeah, she does it. I just sit there and laugh. I mean, it doesn't bother me at all because she's not my girlfriend. I know that she has a boyfriend, so I know someone else is doing her, so I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter to me. It's just just sex.
Yeah.
But get this is even worse. One time she left her. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm sick of the phone ringing while this is happening and it's interrupting it. Leave the phone downstairs, okay? So after we go downstairs to get something to eat, I swear to God, she had 22 missed calls from him within an hour that he called.
I'll bet.
22. I'm not kidding, Tom. 22 calls.
Obviously, he's suspicious.
And it's still going on. She's been with him for 2 years, and she just she tells him that I'm her friend. I've seen him. I've seen her talk to him in person and heard her lie about things like, oh, I was doing this that day, and in the back of my head, she was with me, and he has no idea. I mean, he doesn't say anything to me that has an idea, but maybe he does. But I'm just glad that I went through an experience like that, just like how you said, to see how women are. Because before that, I wouldn't have believed women would be like that. Not as bad as guys are, but they're worse.
Oh, yeah.
They're worse because they're deceitful about it more than we are.
Yeah, because they're really concerned about their reputation.
They don't want people to know.
I mean, we want people to know that we'll F anything.
Exactly.
We want people to know. Guys want people to know that.
They try to hide it.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Tim, thank you for that story.
1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
I'm so glad you called.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Are you The other man, Greg, on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
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 Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, I met this gal that she's about 15 years younger than me, and it was pretty obvious she was unhappy. And just in the talking and joking around, and pretty soon, you know, she was wanting it, and she wasn't getting nothing at home, and so you know, you had to do it. And I feel bad because I think, you know, because I'm married, and I think, you know, well, what if the same thing's happening to me? But in another sense, you know, if you're not getting it at home, you know, and you're unhappy, you're going to go somewhere else and find it. So.
And you were all too happy to give it.
Well, of course. Of course.
And so how did this go from talking to doing?
Just, you know, you get to talking about things and joking around this and that, and you know, just talking. You know how it is. And then pretty soon it's like, well, she tells you she wants you, you know, so you try to figure out how you can do it, and you know, you find the time and do what you got to do, and you do it.
Have you ever seen her on the telephone calling him up?
No, I haven't.
So you've never met him or seen him or anything?
Oh yeah, I've seen him.
You've seen him? A picture of him or the actual him?
I've actually seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he, I think he even possibly suspects something. But
well, when you've seen him, what, she said you were a friend of hers or what?
Yeah, just a friend. And
that's that. By the way, all you boys who have girlfriends and wives say, "Oh, honey, he's just a friend." You're on the other side of that now.
Yeah, and you know, I'm not really. I mean, it's good while it's happening, but you know, I'm not really proud of it because I mean, I guess you feel a little guilty yourself because you know I'm married, so you know, I think, well, how would I feel if my wife's doing the same thing to me? And it don't make you feel very good. But you know, I don't know.
Well, you don't care.
Well,
I mean, you say you care, but you really don't.
Yeah, obviously, I guess.
Yeah. So this has been going on for how long now?
Probably about 8-9 months.
Don't you worry about getting caught?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you do, but I guess...
Because you never know when she's going to have one of those hormonal moments and, like, just get mad at him and tell him.
Well, I'm not really worried about him.
You know, I was with a chick one time who actually, like, ultimately told her husband, who was on the way out anyway, okay, but she told her husband that she was seeing me.
Uh-huh.
And so I got a frantic phone call. Like, at 10 o'clock at night, I need to see you. So I have to run down to a hotel lobby in Hollywood to meet with this chick. And here's what she tells me. She says, my husband wants to meet you.
Oh, my God.
And I need you to come to my place and meet him.
I don't think so.
Hey, if you saw this piece of ass, you'd pretty much do whatever she said.
Okay.
So I actually, this is how crazy nuts I was. I actually went, got in the car, and drove out there to their apartment. Okay? And when I got there, there's the husband literally packing his bags. I mean, this was like the most unbelievable thing I ever saw. He's packing. And he gets home, or she gets home with me, and she says, Tom wants to talk to you. And so there I am sitting on their sofa, having a conversation with her husband.
Oh, Christ.
And the guy, turned out, I could see why this was over. The guy was a complete pussy. I mean,
well, yeah.
Instead of trying to beat me up or anything, he's just like, well, you know, sometimes relationships don't work out. He just wanted to, like, meet me.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
For what was his?
I should offer to sign his rack or something. I couldn't believe the guy wanted to meet me. Okay. I literally, he's heading to the airport. He's done. He's, like, out.
Huh.
I'm watching. He's packing his bag, and then after he leaves, there I am in their apartment. He's gone, and there I am with her in her apartment. Alone. Not having to worry about getting caught. It was unbelievable.
Well, I just wanted to, just listening to you. I listened to you quite a bit. It's the first time I've called, but just wanted to kind of let you know what my situation was. And anyway, thanks, Tom.
Well, Greg, thank you.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
Does your question have anything to do with what I'm discussing on the air this hour?
No.
That means that's the end of the call.
By my question.
You bitch.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Are you the other man? John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
Hi, John.
Man, this topic just makes me angry.
Why?
I gotta tell you, I had a bad experience with this. I caught my little lady of 7 years ago with another man, and I ended up doing 5 years at McNeil Island for it.
What'd you do?
I took his naked ass into him right out the second-story window. I want all these
Was this
guys
like
to know
your? Was this your
that
apartment?
like me.
Was this your apartment? Where was this?
Oh, it was in our house.
It was in your house.
In our house.
So you lifted the guy up and threw him out a second-story window.
Threw him out a second-story window. Broke his collarbone and wrist.
And how did she react to that?
Oh, screaming. And I grabbed her and I took her right outside the front door. I want these guys to know that there's guys that aren't all pussies like the guy you were just talking about that's going to sit on the couch and want to have a friendly conversation with you.
Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
It's not cool. You know, there's too many women out there to be out screwing around, and but you're just encouraging them. And women are stupid to begin with. You're just encouraging them to do stupid things.
Well, fact is, I think a lot of people don't think women do these things, and until they've been burned, they don't know.
Oh, well, they're the biggest pussies of all. Because, I mean, the signs were all there. It wasn't hard to know. I didn't accidentally walk home, one day and say, oh, honey, how could you do this to me? They know. Every guy knows, whether they want to admit it or not, the story. One of these days, they're going to get caught, and it's not going to be by some pussy.
Was it worth your 5 years in prison?
No, and yes. Sitting there for 5 years, you got to say no, some rough times. Not cool, but at the same time, there's a certain peace that comes with it, knowing that no one's going to take advantage of you, especially your ladies.
Whatever happened to her?
Don't know. Don't care.
Never heard from her?
Contact order, so I really can't even...
Yeah, we lost your cell phone call, but I think we get the idea. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Mark on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Mark.
How you doing?
Pretty damn good.
Hey, you saved my ass a few years ago. I've been listening to you for a long time.
Wow.
And I never really thought about this much until you brought it up on the air today. But I've been seeing this girl for about 6 years now, and she's married. She's got a couple kids, and I knew she was married when this started.
Hello? Another call we lost. There you go. Cell phones are cropping up. Corey on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, how you doing, buddy?
All right.
I got a quick little story for you. I went down, to go hang out with my buddy and his wife's sister, and one thing led to another. We hooked up, and she told me that she was married and had 2 kids, and it turned out that her husband is in the military, and he was just getting ready to ship off to Iraq. And so basically, after about a couple months, she calls me up to tell me that she had something really important to tell me, and she told me that she's getting a divorce, and it had nothing to do with me.
Yeah, but of course it did have something to do with you, didn't it?
Oh, of course, yeah. I started to distance myself a little bit from there, but the sex is good, and it's kind of just where it was at. But yeah, it was kind of scary. But he's gone now, and she won't leave me alone.
Yeah. Now you just wanted to go away.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But hey, Tom, I just want to let you know that. Can you take me out with the Snoop Dogg?
Oh yeah, we can do that. Here you go. Biatch. Email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Tom at blowmeuptom.com. Or if you've got comments about our show, You can call our 24-hour day comment line. The number is area code 310-842-9592. That's 310-842-9592.
The Tom Leykis Show.